How did we sell this house in Garland, Texas? Let me tell you. If you see in the backdrop, you're going to see this video behind me. That is the property tour of this house. It's a YouTube video. It's somewhere else. We'll link to it here. It'll be in the links below. So how we sell this house? Well, every house is a little different on how we sell it. And again, let me just intro myself. I'm Blair. I'm a real estate agent with Gray Square, and I sell properties in and around Dallas and Los Angeles. This specific property, I met the owner about 10 months before we sold it. He called me, we talked about the property. Turns out he wasn't living here, he had tenants in this property. It's a really nice house, it was renting. He was concerned whether he should sell it then or wait till it was empty. Based on his rental rate, it really wasn't a good investment purchase for another investor. And what I mean by that is you're gonna have an investor maybe look at this property and say, hey, this is a good property to buy based on its location, quality, everything, and rental amount. Can that rent amount cover a new mortgage at this purchase price? Well, it turns out it probably would have been upside down, or somebody would have had to put in 30-40% down. Investors don't want to do that much for $200 a month on a income monthly, which we call cash flow. Cash flow is the amount of money that you make as an income monthly or yearly after all expenses are paid, your mortgage, your maintenance, your insurance, your taxes, all that. After that, if you're making money, it's called cash flow, and it's for profit. Investors look at it that way. The thing is, a lot of people buy single-family homes here in Dallas, Texas, and rent them out, and it's a good plan. The problem is when you go to sell it, if it's rented at even if it's a market rent, it may not cover a new mortgage with new rates, with higher pricing from when you bought it as your investment. So what happens is, I had a nice long chat with this particular investor, and he could wait. He's like, I can wait. What's it going to look like? I was like, if you want the most for your house, especially a single family home, it's a great rental asset, get it empty. Get the tenants out. Now, it doesn't say kick them out on the street and throw them out whenever you can. Just when their lease is over, do not renew. Tell them thank you for your time. I'm going to sell the house. They might even want to buy the house, which then you may not need me, but you should still call me and let me help you facilitate that transaction, because there's some issues there that you may not know and I can help with, and we can talk about it. And I'm there to protect you throughout that transaction. So our conversation went back and forth with the seller 8-10 months ago about this, and he decided, you know what, it's a good idea, let's wait. Because he told me when his lease was up. It was up at the end of the year. And I was like, that's good timing, because then when they can get the tenants out, clean up the house, and then put it on the market in the spring. Spring's the best market. You might as well, if you got time to wait and your bills are paid till then, put it on the market in the spring. So I stayed in touch with this seller for many months, and we found out throughout those months, we just get planning, we keep looking at the value, where it's at, what he wants for it. And what he wanted for it, wouldn't have got it if we put it out there with a tenant. So when it came time to meet him at the property, we met here. The tenant was supposed to be out of the property. The tenant had not moved out. There was kind of a squatter situation. One of the brother-in-laws was hanging out still. And so we had to get that guy out. And then, the house wasn't in the best shape. It's a really nice house, as you see in all this video behind me. And again, go to the video and see the full tour. The house is nice. New flooring, good countertops, but the bedrooms, the carpets were trashed. There was lots of paint issues. There was a break in the sewer line in the backyard. Bad. Anyway, he fixed that all up, took about a month, cleaned up everything, made it look really nice and clean. Perfect. There we go. So now we go on the market. We set a price, we say we'll probably get this, we go on the market. And so how do we get this house sold once we're on the market? Well, day one we go on the market, we go to do an open house, and we show up to the open house, and there's a brick thrown through the window right here. Glass everywhere, brick. One of our agents shows up to do the open house, and he's like, hey, there's been a brick thrown in the window. Luckily, it didn't hit anything else. It just broke that window. So he swept up the glass, had the open house, great. So we didn't get that many showings or offers real quick on this house. It did take some time. So what do we always do? We always do a YouTube video. We pump it out on social media with some ads and some other things. We pump it out through email to every client that we know, buyer, seller, anybody. We pump it out to all the agents we know. We call buyers and agents to get that. We do this with every listing. We're a marketing machine, and it's what we do. You know, we pump this video out to everybody. There wasn't that much traction. We did get a handful of offers in about week 3, and those offers were all from investors, interesting enough. And they had offered lower than we wanted, but we were able to negotiate a deal on one of those investors. So someone, I think, is buying this to rent it out, which is interesting, but they probably wouldn't have paid as much if we didn't get it empty and clean it up. Because before, remember, carpets were trashed. There was too many people in here. There were scrapes and everything everywhere. It was not looking good. As you can see in this video of this house is clean. It's nice. So here we are today. We're closing this week. Buyer and seller are happy. I'm here to exchange some keys. It's kind of the story of how I meet a client and the thought process of what we think about when we should do it, put it on the market, don't put it on the market. And, you know, especially with investors, it's, you know, they want the most out of their investment. So we look to do that for them. So if you're looking to sell a house, you're looking to buy or sell some investments, we help with that. Call me, let's chat. My information is below. You can find me there. Click on this. And don't forget to like and subscribe this video and follow for more tips and tricks. Hey, see you on the next one.